I am Jesus Grease.
Yeah? You're Jesus Gray?
I'm immortal. We watched Cronos today.
Yep.
The Guillermo del Toro vampire romp. I'll call it a romp. It's one of his first movies.
I think it is his first movie. Yeah. His first feature, anyways, I'm pretty sure.
Impressive for a first.
He hasn't made a bad movie yet, I don't think.
Not really. I'm not a huge Hellboy 2 fan, but it's a well-made movie.
I love Hellboy 2, actually. That's in some ways better than the first.
It's more
for me
fun. It's more lighthearted than the first.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Actually, when we were watching this one, it made me want to rewatch the Hellboy.
Watch Hellboy. It's just seeing Ron Perlman.
Yeah, Ron Perlman. Is I just want some Hellboy.
Yeah. Where do you want to start with this one?
Wherever you want, because I've seen it before, so.
Yeah, I always wanted to see it, and I'm glad that we finally put it on our list, so that it gave me a reason and an opportunity to watch it, even if we had some troubles streaming it.
Sorry if you watched it on Netflix. Well, it's not our fault, but Netflix has a bad upload or something.
Yeah, I don't know what it did. It has a weird frame rate on Netflix. Yeah. It might be like a PAL to NT, whatever, CS or SC.
TFC.
Conversion. So we gave up on that and started watching on Hulu Plus.
And then it kept freezing.
Which was probably worse. I mean, it was smoother, but a much worse experience on Hulu Plus.
Yeah. But then we switched it to standard def, and it was okay after that. So, yeah.
It was an adventure. But I'm really glad we watched it.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a Doc Gooden.
No, it's not a Doc Gooden. I really don't know what to say about it. It feels.
It's much more. It's not. It's a vampire movie in the way of like Thirst or Let the Right One In.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's a much more like toned down,
un-American.
Yeah. It's not in your face. It's not overly violent and graphic. And
no, it's about the story. It's about the story, and it's about themes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that we had this in this year's list along with Thirst. It's almost like vampire stories through different lenses. So yeah, it'd be an interesting pairing to like compare and contrast the two movies. We won't do that here because. But it's very much a Guillermo del Toro movie.
Oh, absolutely.
In the vein of, I would not quite as out there as Pan's Labyrinth, but the same kind of tone. It's very subtle.
Yeah.
It's kind of a quiet movie, but it certainly has its interesting moments. Kind of the really only flares of Guillermo del Toro that really shone through, like his basically his thumbprint. Basically.
Yeah.
To me, were the things that had to do with the Cronos.
The Cronos, like the actual mechanics.
The mechanics of the thing inside. It's so weird. It's so weird. There's a bug inside this thing. Yeah. It turns the levers and gears, and once it pricks you, you become a vampire. Very strange. Very weird. What? It's so weird. But it had to. I mean, I understand it. It connects with all the themes of time. I mean, it's called Cronos. The device is called the Cronos device, and the major. It's not really conceit, but the major through line of the movie is how does one cope with time, especially when you're near the end of your life, because there's two different philosophies going on here. You have Jesus, who's sort of at turn, well, at least not on the surface. He's kind of come to terms.
Understand, I've lived my life.
Exactly.
And I don't want to die, but if I do, you know.
And really the only thing attached... I mean, they have the two characters, Jesus, and I can't remember the other guy's name.
This is his uncle, yeah.
Ron Perlman's uncle, the guy who runs...
I mean, De La Guardia is the guy's last name.
De La Guardia, yeah. But. You have two... Yeah, that's basically the premise of the movie, is you have these two different guys... each dealing with the end differently.
Yeah.
De La Guardia is grasping at straws and trying to find ways to extend his life, even though, as Ron Perlman's character put it, all he does is piss and shit all day. And why does he want to keep living that existence? Right. And then you have Jesus' character, who's kind of come to terms with it. The only thing that's attached, his reason to stay in this world is his granddaughter. I assume it's his granddaughter.
Yeah, because she calls him.
She calls him grandma. She's Abuela. Yeah, that's right. Or Abuelo. Abuelo would be grandma.
Abuela, yeah.
And his wife?
I think that's his wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love interest.
I think that's his wife.
So you have, on the one hand, you have the one guy trying to hang on to life, just out of greed. Basically.
Selfishly, yeah.
Yeah, selfish. Yeah. And the other guy is clinging on to life. Just to be with his family, to be loved, to help his loved ones. So you have those things button heads, and it makes for it's really interesting. It's like I said, it's subtle.
Yeah,
unless you're really paying attention to it, you may not get that out of the movie, but it's there. That's called Cronos, for God's sakes.
And there's a guy in a giant clock outfit on New Year's Day.
That's
New Year's
true.
Eve.
Yeah.
So
that was not so subtle. And the fact that it was New Year's is not very subtle either. The passage of time. Can't stop that train, folks. So yeah, I really like it. I understand why it's a Criterion movie, because it's a film it's the capital F film, and it's meant to be studied. And, so really good. I mean, I can't think of many directors that have had a stronger start to their careers. This one's up there for sure. Maybe Scorsese, Taxi Driver. Yeah. How do you think watching it a second time? Or
I liked it.
How many times?
This is the second time. About what I remember, I really liked it, and it definitely is. I was kind of fighting to stay awake, but nothing. It's not because of the movie at all. It's because I'm absolutely exhausted.
Drinking late last night, Brandon. Tisk.
But it was it's still really good. I love Ron Perlman.
He's really funny in this movie.
I will watch him do just about anything. So, and I think there's something to be said about him as an actor, because when you look at him and when you see him in some stuff, it's just he doesn't embody like a good actor. You just kind of
I think that's misused by directors in casting.
Yeah, but then that's what I'm saying. Like, because
he's there, he's such a physical presence.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it overwhelms
his talent.
But he is such he's a great guy, and it comes across in stuff like this.
Drive.
But what I was going to say, the other one is City of Lost Children, which is a French film.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
And in both of those, it's kind of, he's stepping completely out of his own. I mean, it's another language you're performing in.
Yeah.
And I think that alone, just makes you outstanding in my book.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Ron Perlman was great. You heard it here, folks. No, I do think that to some people that might be surprising, because all they think when they see Ron Perlman's like Hellboy
or Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy, exactly. And he's really good in Sons of Anarchy. Actually,
Police Academy 7, maybe.
That's the first one I go to also. Actually, I'll give him props on Sons of Anarchy. That's actually a pretty good show. Yeah. He's quite good in it. This was one of these younger, and it's kind of unsettling at first because I don't know why a younger Ron Perlman. Still kind of it's like Ron Perlman. Yeah. But he looked more like the vampire with his skin, with his new skin than Jesus did. Lots of good stuff. The girl in this movie is kind of an interesting. She's just there. She's not really. I mean, she's just. I'm not saying that she's a bad actress or anything, or that it was a bad choice. But that's not the point of the character. Yeah. She's silent. She never talks.
Nope,
the whole
until
movie.
the end, and they don't really delve into her, what happened to her parent. I mean,
it's just
he mentions at one point, like, your father did something, or this is what I did for with your father. At the very beginning,
I was under the impression he died of cancer or something.
Okay, that's. But yeah,
there's that one scene when they're on the roof and she's hiding, and that's when he's talking. He's pouring and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, talking. He says he says something.
Okay, I mean, either way, you don't get the same with the mother. You don't. It's not part of what's there.
No,
but it's
no, not at all. But it's just really interesting. It's definitely worth a. I mean, I'll watch it again for sure, just to try to extract some more out of it. But it's good. I'm really happy I watched it, and I hope that you also watched it and maybe found a better way to watch it other than streaming off of Netflix or Hulu. It's a really shame that's such a bad rip for Netflix.
Yeah.
I run into that once in a while. Actually, you ran into some problems the other day, too, with Netflix.
Yeah, but they're fixed. Because now I was like, wait, which one did I watch? Because it was,
Yeah.
Anyways.
Linking episodes and movies wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway. Tomorrow...
Can we talk about favorite scenes?
Oh, yeah. Favorite scenes, sorry. I've just been talking the whole time.
Yeah.
It's that beer I drank. The ginger beer. Don't drink ginger beer for kids. Actually, don't drink it all, kids. I don't... It's hard for me to pinpoint one scene in this movie. This isn't really one where one single scene really stands out to me. Maybe do yours first.
I have...
Well, I try to think of one.
Same thing. Like, there's nothing overly... But I like the first instance... Well, actually, it would technically be the second instance. But it's, like... There's the first time the thing attaches to his hand and it freaks him out. Yeah. But the second time he does it willingly. Yeah. And that's when the other stinger thing comes out and it goes into the wrist. Yeah. And there's something kind of unsettling about that.
Oh, it's
and
gross. It's certainly gross. Anytime he puts this thing on, it's gross.
That, and then there's also something about the I really like the he's not getting embalmed, but the preparing of the body scene into the funeral.
Yeah.
Because there's some kind of really dark humor happening in there, and it's just it's that I think that's the thing I like the most about the movie is that there's these really stark contrasts throughout, whereas there's this kind of levity to it. But right with that, there's this kind of I feel uncomfortable being so.
I don't think
levitated.
Nah, that's one of Guillermo del Toro's.
No, I know, but I think that's what is so effective about it.
Yeah,
that's what I like about this movie is that you get that stark contrast where it's you get that it's this person who's still kind of alive is in his box. Everyone's mourning him, but then you have Ron Perlman coming up and pinching his nose, seeing if he's still breathing. And it's just so there's this really kind of dark moment happening, but then you have this levity to it, and I think that contrast is part of what makes it work as effectively as it does for me, anyways.
Yeah. I even thinking about it, I still can't pinpoint one scene. It just for me, it's the whole. It's solid. It's solid throughout. Nothing really stands. I kind of liked it when he had the tux on backwards when he came out and got out of the coffin. It was just a nice touch. Also because things just aren't right. There's a skew, so he's wearing those tux backwards. It just looked funny. Now I can say tomorrow we are going to watch a classic, actually, a veritable classic, not even a cult classic, just an actual classic. Bride of Frankenstein. Not Bride of Reanimator this time.
Not this time.
It's also that was kind of by accident too. Really,
yeah.
I didn't really think about having both Bride of movies.
Once they were both on there,
I thought about it. Yeah, but it wasn't planned that way. Lots of happy accidents this year with our scheduling. But Bride of Frankenstein, that can also be found pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
It's from the late 1920s, so I think that qualifies as public domain. So if you can't find, if you don't have Netflix or Hulu or any of those other services, you can find it on Google Videos, YouTube. It's probably bundled in one of those 100 movies in one disc packages you find this time of year at your local department stores. But we're going to watch it. We're going to talk about it tomorrow.
We are.
It's not a promise to you.
Are we?
It's not a threat. Question mark? All right, we'll talk to you later.
Bye!